Hello and welcome back to Culinary Haven. Recently we showed you how to cook with Guinness, and today we're going to show you how to bake with Guinness. We're making Guinness cake. It's very dark, intensely chocolatey, fudgy and moist, and it's topped with a lovely white, sweet and tangy cream cheese frosting. Delicious. Let's begin. To make the Guinness cake, we'll need 250 grams of butter softened at room temperature, 375 grams of plain flour, 350 grams of light brown sugar, 2 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, 100 ml of sour cream, 100 ml of buttermilk, 250 ml of Guinness, 60 grams of good quality dark chocolate with minimum 70% cocoa solids, and 60 grams of cocoa powder, and also half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of soda. And for the frosting, we'll need 1 packet of cream cheese, 360 grams of icing sugar, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 50 grams of butter. Put the butter in the bowl, add the sugar, another 5 seconds and we'll start adding the eggs. Don't forget to scrape the paddle attachment and the sides of the bowl, 1 egg at a time. Just blend it in. And the second one, blend it in, scraping the sides of the bowl after each task. And now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla, pure vanilla extract. Now we're adding 100 ml of buttermilk, 100 ml of sour cream, and mix it together. And now we're going to add 250 ml of Guinness. Gently blend it in. Right now the mixture doesn't look very good at all, but have faith. And now we're adding the melted chocolate. When you melt the chocolate, be careful, don't put it in the microwave for more than 30 seconds at a time. And after each 30 seconds, let it stand for a minute, because it will continue melting even when it's out of the microwave. It takes about 2 30-second sessions. Right now the mixture, the consistency is like a thin soup, but that's what makes it so fudgy and moist and delicious. 375 grams of plain flour, 60 grams of cocoa powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and half a teaspoon of soda. And now we'll sift it all in. And now we're going to bring it back to the stand, a mixer, and on a very low speed process it for a few seconds. I'll finish mixing the batter with the rubber spatula. I don't want to overwork it. Mix it from the bottom up, scraping the sides of the bowl gently. Gorgeous batter. I'm going to use this push pan lined with parchment. You can also use a springform tin. This one is 19 centimeters in diameter. I like this cake to be very tall and have this beautiful white frosting on top, and it does look like a pint of Guinness. You can obviously use a wider tin and just the cake will not be as tall. Smooth it. out. And now it's going into the preheated to 180 degrees Celsius oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, you turn it down to 160 degrees Celsius and cook it for another 20 minutes, and then turn it down to 150 degrees Celsius and cook it for another 20 minutes. We do it to avoid the top of the cake burning. It's a very tall cake. It's dense, very moist. It takes a long time to bake, so if the temperature is too high, the top will burn. By reducing the temperature, we avoid that. The cake is in the oven and we'll prepare the frosting. 1 tub of cream cheese, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm actually going to use vanilla sugar because when you're using icing sugar for frosting, any amount of liquid, even a teaspoon, makes all the difference. So instead of using liquid, we're using powder. 50 grams of softened butter. Mix it with a spoon. Everything is at room temperature, nice and soft, and gradually add the icing sugar. Carefully. It likes to fly all over the place. It looks like a lot of icing sugar, but the result of moisture in the cream cheese, and we need to make a nice creamy frosting so that we can pipe out. We need all of this icing sugar. Otherwise, it will be too runny. The cake is not sweet at all. It's just very moderately sweet because there is so much of cocoa powder and dark chocolate and Guinness. Makes it not sweet. Stir it. Now, there is no danger of it flying around. We're going to whisk it. I'm using this electric handheld whisk. You can do it with a manual whisk as well. And lastly, we're going to add 90 grams of melted white chocolate. Be very careful. Once again, I remind you that when you melt chocolate, don't do it for more than 30 seconds at a time. Chocolate is very easily burnt. And whisk again. Now we're going to put the frosting in the fridge. This is the consistency of the frosting that we're looking for. Nice, thick and smooth, just like a head of a Guinness. The cake is now ready and we're going to unmold it and put it on the wire rack to cool. I'm going to use a tin of tomatoes to push it out of this push pan. They're great because they're leak-proof, but a little bit tricky to push the cakes out of them. There we are. We'll let the cake cool completely and then we'll frost it. Very easily comes off the parchment. The frosting has nicely chilled and we'll just pile it on and then smooth it out, creating the perfect Guinness head. This cake is so tall and so chocolatey bitter that this amount of lovely sweet frosting is in order. There you go, perfect Guinness head. Here we are, frosted and ready to be served. Please enjoy your Guinness cake responsibly. Thank you for watching this episode of Culinary Haven. Please like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, bye.